Information stealers, they've been around for a long time, but in terms of their capability to be bought and sold, it's a very commoditized market now. There's ways that lower skilled threat actors can quickly get access to credentials and tokens and sell those on the deep and dark web, on underground forums. So today we're going to explicitly look at some example infection chains, looking at CLEARFAKE, IDATLOADER, and REDLINESTEALER. So this is basically the story of how a REDLINESTEALER information stealing malware may end up on a corporate or even a personal device, and we'll get into that in just a second. So let's kick off here and take a look at how CLEARFAKE is typically used by these groups. CLEARFAKE is an in-browser JavaScript framework. It's something that can be deployed onto maybe a malicious ad. It can be set up on a specific website designed to attract attention. Typically, we see these things offering fake or cracked software, something that may be of particular interest to, maybe gamers, maybe people that are interested in cryptocurrencies. But, just as we saw with malwares like Ghoulish, specifically programs that are designed to be downloaded by system administrators, people like that, people that have highly privileged accounts within an environment. And essentially, it presents itself as a fake update. So looking at how the social engineering is being conducted here is really interesting. And we still see this malware up until literally this week. It's not something that is part of just the last couple of quarters. This is a prolific threat. So if we look at the next slide here, we can see that the newest version of CLEARFAKE, and we've got a blog on this, and there's been a lot of reporting on this particular method in open source as well. In this case, there's not even like a fancy download, some kind of crazy execution chain here. It's literally just social engineering to get a user to open up PowerShell and paste in a malicious command. That's all this is doing. And you may think, well, surely users should be trained for this. There's all these sorts of security training, and yes, you're absolutely right. But I can tell you right now that lots of people do fall for this, and this is a really hard thing for most organizations to detect, right? Someone just opening up PowerShell and typing something in. There's not a lot of contextual activity there to piece stuff together. What we see is the next part of this infection chain could be something like IDATLOADER. IDATLOADER is a relatively new threat since maybe September 2023. It's, again, very opportunistic in its targeting. We see it affecting all sectors. It can be distributed by other pieces of malware, phishing, drive-by download, as we've discussed with CLEARFAKE. And again, we're seeing this all the time. One of the most interesting things about IDATLOADER, and we've just released another blog post on this as well, is that it focuses very heavily on low detectability. It will use things like MSHDA and PowerShell for sort of the initial loading. And then one of the more interesting things that we've discovered recently, and you can read the blog on this, so I won't get too nerdy, on DPL sideloading or Boolean package library sideloading, but that essentially operates very similar to DLL sideloading. Essentially, IDATLOADER is designed to be heavily obfuscated, and it's designed to evade detection. Then what we see, could be IDATLOADER, could be some other sort of loader, is the deployment of some kind of information stealing malware. In this case, the example here is REDLINESTEALER. There's been a pretty large campaign over the last few months, specifically targeting CLEARFAKE, IDATLOADER, and REDLINESTEALER. Again, REDLINESTEALER it's freely available on the underground. It's basically a subscription service, and it's designed to collect data from installed browsers. It can download browsing history, and then most importantly, things like session tokens and cookies, VPN credentials, for those that may want to specifically target people that are in the crypto industry. crypto wallets, other things like chat messages that could reveal, tokens, API keys, so on and so forth, and then other things as well. One of the examples here is FileZilla. All of the credential stealers that we're going to talk about are very, very often they're designed to be able to very easily iterate upon things. So if one information stealer increases its capability, the rest tend to follow suit. So, one may be very similar to the other. Information stealers tend to run in memory as well, but Redline Stealer is, maybe a little bit different from others. It can actually drop additional malware as well. So if an interesting, web token or cookie or set of credentials is found on a particular system, a threat actor can quickly pivot to deploying, post-exploitation frameworks. And if we look at the next slide, that's really reflected on numbers that we collected for Q2. Pretty much everything stealer related has shot right up our rankings. We've got some loaders in there, Steal C, Redline Stealer, Formbook, Amadei. All of those things have information stealing capabilities, and they're alongside other sort of post-exploitation frameworks like Cobalt Strike, Metasploit, and Sliver. And so you can really get a good understanding that threat actors may use these credentials for just essentially walking through the front door through VPNs, external remote services, or they may choose to pivot to things like Cobalt Strike and Metasploit to conduct ransomware operations.